Hi, I'm Sarah Ryrie, and today we are spending 5 minutes with Fiona McDonald, the Program Coordinator of Windsor Life Center. Thank you so much for coming, Fiona. Can you tell us a little bit about the Windsor Life Center?
Absolutely. We are a 12-month residential faith-based program for women 18 and up who struggle with alcohol and drug addiction.
And what is your job there, and how do you relate to them?
I'm a program coordinator at the Windsor Life Center, and I relate to the women because I was in their shoes at one point. I went through a program very similar to the Windsor Life Center, and so I can relate to what they're going through.
Do you think that helps?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100% it does, yep.
And how big of a problem is this in our community? What are the damaging effects if it's not dealt with?
You know what? The severity of the problem in Windsor is actually huge. There was a statistic posted in the Windsor Star recently saying that Windsor itself has 8 times the provincial average for women who are addicted to prescription medication. Well, there's many different facets to the ugliness of addiction. It robs people from their homes, women from their children, women from their parents, from their marriages, from destiny and purpose in their lives. It brings them to hopelessness. It brings them to institutions, to jails. There's so many different facets to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of family and children and friends, and now are those the people that help them get into here, or do they check themselves into the program? How does that work?
The women can be referred to our center, but ultimately they have to take the initial step to entering into our program. They make the phone call to our intake coordinator. It has to be them reaching out for help.
Okay, and they still get to see their family and friends throughout?
Absolutely. The goal is to reconcile them back to their family and restore those homes, right?
That's awesome.
Yep.
What are the human costs, and how are people affected by addiction?
So kind of what I touched on earlier is there are so many different levels. Some people get out when they see that they're not maintaining how they should at their job site. Others go so far as to in and out of institutions, mental institutions, jails and such, crossing many different lines that these women normally would not cross, you know?
Yeah. And what is the need for these women?
The need for these women is emotional and spiritual healing, to know that they're loved, to know that they aren't absolutely hopeless. They need hope in their lives. They need people to come alongside them and to just speak words of hope and believe in them, you know, so that they know their self-worth, so that they regain dignity and integrity and find purpose and a plan for their lives.
That's awesome. They have people like you that let them know that they have self-worth and motivate them, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what is the future for somebody going through the program?
So ultimately, we want to reconcile them back to families. We want mothers to be put back in that role, but doing so in a better way. You know, we want them to be contributing members of society. We want them to live out their dreams, whatever it is that they feel that they're here for. We want to prepare them for that. We want to give them transferable skills so that they can go into the job market and live out whatever dreams they have, you know?
Exactly, and I feel like it's the best for them to help others too, just like yourself.
Absolutely.
If somebody wanted to help, what could they do?
There's many different ways to come alongside us at the Windsor Life Center, but ultimately we are not government funded. So we rely solely on the contributions of the community, the people that come alongside us and contribute financially. So you can go on our website and check out different ways to sponsor women, to sponsor the program, to come alongside financially. We can also always use volunteers, and there is always a needs list posted on our website.
Okay, and what do the needs lists usually consist of?
Oh, there's different things all the time, but ultimately because we are non-for-profit, donations for food even, and hygiene products, things like that.
What is success for you as it relates to Windsor Life Center?
You know, really success for me with the Windsor Life Center would be to see these women living in their fullness. Ultimately, some of these women are mothers, and I would love to see them go home and to be able to share the hope that they've regained in their lives, you know, to be able to pour into their families and break that cycle of addiction in their lives. It is cyclical, but they can break the chains. They can break that for generations to come. Ultimately, I would love to see these women go on to whatever it is they feel called to do. You know, some of them have dreams to be speakers. Some of them have dreams to be teachers. Some of them want to pour into the ministry that's pouring into them right now. And to be able to watch that take place, that's success ultimately. For women to stand tall and to grasp onto their dreams, to know that there is limitless possibilities for their lives, that's success. To watch these women walk out and not have to struggle with addiction any longer, but to know that they're ultimately free that to me is success with the Windsor Life Center. Absolutely.
That's really awesome. These women have very inspiring people to look up to as well there. So that's awesome that they have people like you guys.
And they're amazing women.
Wow. Thanks so much for coming in. We've just spent 5 minutes with Fiona McDonald, Program Coordinator with Windsor Life Center.